Welcome to the Old Fart Geeks podcast. This week on our 12th episode, we discuss a bunch of old retro tech stuff. I'm Jason Oakley, and this is my co-host, Will Tompkinson. Hey, Will.
Hey, Jace. How you doing, mate?
Good. What's going on with you?
Oh, yeah, you know, usual.
The usual stuff. Thinking about old technology.
Tell you what, just about everything I've done this week feels like old technology.
Yep.
New computers that are running as slow as dogs, new internet that's useless, new NBN that's slower than dial-up, all the good things.
Why do we bother?
That's it. It's, yeah, no, it's, I don't know what's going on the last couple of weeks. Everything I do seems to be taking a lot longer than I should have even, it's to the point where you, just don't even bother doing it now, just leave it.
You have to end up streaming through your phone on the 4Gs.
Well, I'm going back to what we were, because I got the NBN last week. Yeah, started last week, and my download speed's fantastic. 100 meg down. When I do a speed test, it's 100 meg down, and 40 meg up. Not a problem at all. But when you actually try to use the internet, put it under load for more than 2 or 3 seconds, you end up with around 5 down and no upload. Literally no upload. It resets your connection.
That's bizarre.
So
my ADSL's been stabilized.
I know, right? So before I decided to ring Optus, because I figured they'd have something to say about it, so I thought, well, I'll do a recording. Basically, I'll set it up so that I can have like a burn-in, I guess, but for the internet with the... What did I have? I had a speed test open one page, I had an upload progress test on one page, I had the stream on another page. All recording that for 10 hours.
Yep.
And basically, you can pretty much see every 30 seconds, every time it tries to hit the upload, it just shuts the internet connection down.
Jeez. A bit like mine that disconnects at 10 o'clock every night for no reason.
Yeah, I know.
Needs a break. Needs a break every now and then. I think I'll just disconnect for a minute.
Yeah, pretty much. What was annoying about it was, not only that, my phone is not working through the modem, even though obviously it's supposed to.
Yep.
And my set-top box that's supposed to have 15 channels or something of pay TV.
Yep.
Doesn't.
Oh.
So Optus are going to have a hell of a phone call coming.
Suck to be you, right?
Yeah. So you can see, I won't show the whole thing because it goes for 10 hours, but you can see basically here I had it set up so that I had let's fast forward a little bit here. I had the stream, the one on the bottom left is the stream where I was actually trying to stream to Twitch.
Yep.
The top one is the speed test, which is doing the upload and the download.
Yep.
Then over here on the right's the actual stream, and you can see reconnecting. So every time it starts to stream, about 5 seconds later, it loses it, does a reconnection.
Yep.
And when at the end of the day, when I had my statistics for my upload download, because this testmy.net is what I used, and it's really good because it data logs everything.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of that, it successfully completed 4 uploads in a 10-hour period.
Good.
They were set to run every 5 minutes, and out of that, it completed 4.
Wow.
It didn't fail. And the fastest speed it recorded was 4.6 meg.
Have you tried maybe using VPN or something to make sure that they're not watching what you're doing and cutting it when you stream or something?
Well, that's the whole reason I got it, was to stream, so if they're going to do that...
Be a good test, though.
That's more than I can be bothered doing, to be honest.
Yeah, when we were doing Aussie Tech Heads last week, in the pre-show took about half an hour because both Eric and Glenn, who are on cable, had so much trouble getting theirs to a stable speed with rebooting routers and changing their DNS settings and all sorts of stuff. And I'm just sitting here happily on my slow but stable ADSL connection. I'm like, you guys have got cable? And they're like, yeah, but the other day I had 3 megs down on the cable and 0.01 up. He's like, I feel like Milo. And then Eric's like, yeah, mine's been crap all of a sudden for some reason too.
The only one that works the same. The one at work, we're on ADSL at work, and it about every half hour just drops a connection for 10 minutes.
Yep.
So I don't know what the NBN has done to the internet, but they need to fix it.
It's all those evil people downloading Netflix without paying GST. That's what's causing the internet to die in our country.
Yeah, that'd be it. Yeah,
that's exactly what the politicians say. Well, GST. If you vote us in, we're not going to change the GST, except we're going to apply it to all streaming services that don't come from inside the country, and also all purchases on eBay from now on, whether it's $1 a purchase or 1,000.
But the thing is, they have to. What they don't understand is they can charge GST, but it's up to the company internationally to pass it on.
Yep.
So all these thousands of Chinese companies who are dudes working out of their garage, good luck. You know, you're really going to make your money back going around every one of those houses and door knocking.
It's not like the government's going to email them because they don't know what internet is. So
yeah, well, that's right. Yeah,
Dear Sir / Madam, please pay 10% on anything people have purchased from you to us. Thank you. Lots of love, hugs and kisses, AustralianGovernment.com.
You know what they'll do is, I realise that doesn't work, so they'll do what they do with import duty, and they'll just hold it at customs and force you to pay it. Because that's what they do.
How many packages are just going to be stuck in customs piling up? They're going to have to buy more storage.
Well, that's what they do with anything over $1,000 now. Is you don't have to pay the company who imports it. You pay the government once it lands.
They hold it for ransom.
Yep, they hold it and say you need to pay GST.
Yeah.
And you go, no. And they go, we need to send it back. No, you can send it back.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, but we're not authorised to do that. I went, okay, see ya. And you hang up on them. And then you send a thing on eBay saying, hey dudes, I never received the part. I never received it. And they go, oh, according to us, it's sitting in customs. You go, huh, that's interesting. Oh, I never received it. Oh, it's okay. We'll just get eBay to pay the insurance on it, and you'll get your money back and we'll get our item back. And customs are stuck with something that they can't do anything with.
Maybe they could sell it on eBay.
Yeah, I know, right? That'll be the next thing. That'll be like an Australian garage sale or Australian customs garage sale website or something. It's all on
Works for the cops, right?
Yeah, I'm going to confiscate this and then I'm going to sell it for a shitload.
Yeah. This has been unclaimed for several months.
We
didn't tell anyone we got it.
Yeah. Here's all those cars we didn't crush. We're just going to sell them instead.
Ching! Oh, well. Now we've had a go at the government and the cops. Should we go on to doing a show?
I don't know.
End rant.
We must be doing something right. There's getting over 1,000 downloads a week, so
know, right?
can't be all bad.
The Internet Arcade. In case you haven't heard about this, you can get over 900 vintage arcade games in your web browser. You can see a bunch of them there. The Internet Archive has long been one of the coolest sites on the web, thanks to its incredible collection of long-forgotten web pages. And it puts now home console games into the mix with Console Living Room late last year. Now they've unveiled the Internet Arcade, a browser-friendly collection of classic arcade games that will blow your mind. List of the games include well-known titles like Frogger, Amidar. Well-known. I thought they said well-known.
Yeah, so that's the way. Pick the only games that no one's ever heard of. Yeah, that's well-known.
Joust. Oh, I used to play that on the Microbee. That was awesome. We got something about Microbee later. Rally X Load Runner. Yes, we know that one. I know it's not the Japanese Meep Meep guy.
Load Runner. Okay,
Load Runner! And Zaxxon, along with hundreds of lesser-known games, many of which had slipped your mind because the emulations use the original ROMs. You'll have to sit through a few seconds of power-up self-tests and deal with the odd control arrangement on a few titles. Thankfully, the Internet Archive has created page games that should run at full speed on most hardware. So how's it done? They say... Yeah?
Yeah, it works.
Works well. The Internet Arcade is a web-based library of arcade coin-operated video games from the 1970s through the 1990s, emulated in JS-MAME, part of the JS-MES software package, containing hundreds of games ranging through many different genres and styles. The arcade provides research and comparison and entertainment into the realm of video game arcade. The game collection ranges from early Bronze Age video games with black and white screens and simple sounds through to large-scale games containing digitized voices, images and music. Most games are playable in some form, although some are useful more for verification of behavior or programming due to intensity and requirements of the system. You can visit the Internet Arcade or the Internet Archive to see if you've got the chops to grab a high score. No quarters required. Yeah, we put so much money into those machines when I was young.
Yeah, I know, right? And I actually walked into a old, just a takeaway the other day, and they actually had, I'm playing it now, Outrun, they actually had that there, and it was 20 cents a game.
Yep. There was when I drive up north to visit the oldies on holidays and stuff, there's a place I stop at about halfway between Melbourne and where I'm going, and Melbourne and Sydney actually, not even where I'm going, and it's just a little fish and chip shop, and they've got a sit-down arcade machine that has multiple ROMs in there. You can switch to whichever game you want to try and play.
Dang it.
Bam! Sega got you right in the face. It's nothing worse than the Sega to the face.
That's it. But it's pretty simple. You just you can just go through, pick whatever games you want, and click on it. They're fairly decent. I mean, I'm cheap. I tried it on my netbook, and they don't, because they're obviously Flash or something base.
Yep.
But they work right on any sort of reasonably powerful computer.
Yep. I'm looking for something I recognise.
Yeah, so am I. There's a couple of them.
Paperboy. That was great on the Commodore 64.
I suck at Paperboy though.
Me too.
I'm not going to play it because I'm so bad at it. What's something here that isn't horror? Wow, seriously? I thought they said... Is there more
Commando. Did I say Commando?
No, that's it. There's 600 of them.
600 stuff that most people have not heard of.
Yeah, well, there's Outrun. There's
Outrun.
Well, you see, they've got
Joust. I used to play that on the Microbee.
Joust.
Yep.
Which one's that one? I don't know. If I
Emu
remember
Joust. That. You sit on the back of an emu and you have to joust the other person. Hit them with your jousting stick.
Wasn't that a song?
Yep. Hit me with your jousting stick. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me
So,
fast. Hit me quick.
You can see how you actually got to go through the full startup.
Yep.
It's actually pretty cool.
All systems go.
It's funny now, actually, watching some of the new games boot up. They actually take... Oh, here we go. You got keys. Player 1 uses left and right arrow keys and control to flap.
Yep. So you hit flap, 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 flap.
Oh,
Player 1.
Come on.
Still waiting.
What is it? 5 to insert coin and 1 to start. Alright. Factory settings restored. Well,
insert coin. Player 1.
Great, I crashed the ROM.
Just as long as you didn't crash your browser.
Is that even a thing you can do? Apparently
it is. But only if it's you. Oh, there we go.
Yep, there we go.
Insert coin and hit player 1.
Oh no, you've got to click the advance button. Well, I didn't tell you about that.
RAM test follows. It's been doing it again. No RAM errors. Oh, that's good. Your RAM's good, Mr. T.
Sound. Wow, seriously.
You just checked all 16 gigs of your RAM.
Yeah. It literally tests every bloody
aspect.
I tell you what, you wouldn't want to be in a rush.
It's thorough.
Like, try and do a podcast or anything.
No errors. No CMOS errors.
Come on.
Switch test.
No, it doesn't want to know about it. Flaky ROM.
Too long.
Flaky ROM.
Congo Bongo. I think they had that on the floor as well.
Wow, Congo Bongo.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. Sort of pseudo 3D kind of thing.
It'd be interesting to see how long it takes before they get these pulled down, because Sega or someone will want to file a lawsuit.
I'd say they would have had to get permission for all of them to even put them there.
That's probably why it's
set a coin.
Probably why it's taking so long to actually. Oh, I didn't look at the keys again. No, they don't have keys. Dang it.
There's no keys.
Well, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, there I am.
Yep, you have to climb up to the monkey. It's sort of like Donkey Kong. Only isometrics. You have to go down over the bridge, and then down to where the monkeys are.
The problem is a cross isn't a cross because a cross is diagonal.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing. Okay.
So is this another game you crap at?
Oh, I've never even played this one, so yeah.
Splat.
Oh dear. But I tell you what, though, it's interesting looking at the resolution, isn't it? Like, you look at on that screen there, it actually doesn't look too bad. Like, because I guess if you think about it, that's probably what 64 by 64 or something in the actual screen. But as soon as you make it full screen, you suddenly realize just how low resolution the game actually is. Choosing MAME emulation, that's interesting.
Yep, JS MAME.
Jimmy, shitboxing. Credits.
A champion is you. Round 1. Fight.
Beg your pardon? Am I even a thing?
Upper.
The things.
Straight cut. Uppercut. Jab, 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 jab.
I don't even know.
Jab, 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 uppercut. Straight. Jab. Upper.
I don't know. Ah, that's what.
Jab,
okay.
Jab, jab, jab.
Oh, low blow.
Wow, long game.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm just pressing buttons. I don't know.
Something's happening. Jab,
Oh, there
jab.
we
Got him. You win.
Is this the thing where they recover? Yep.
Round 2. Fight.
No, it's not Street Fighter, you know.
Yosaji Yojimbo, we meet again. Ha 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 ha.
Oh dear. So yeah, so there you go. That's could be a good party night. That I reckon. Get a few friends together and just.
Yeah, if you don't have like any other kind of arcade emulation type thing that we might talk about soon.
How could you possibly have any? There's no other possible way you could have any sort of arcade emulation. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, right? Especially not running on a mini computer device such as a Raspberry Pi. Oh, look at that!
Oh, here's one we prepared earlier.
Powered bar top arcade machine. This is one of those mini arcade joystick things you can buy. It's got 2 players with 8 buttons.
The biggest problem, and I mean, obviously, we'll talk about another Raspberry Pi story in a minute, but I was actually looking at doing one of those mini ones, and what put me off was actually finding a screen that was
small.
Viewable from more than directly in front, because obviously, if you've got 2 people on that, you got to be off to the side to use it on such a small screen. The small screen, like a 10-inch screen or something, I think it was an 8 or a 10-inch screen. The cheapest I could find was like $150. They're using a 19 on this one. Okay, so that's a bit bigger. I was looking at like a 10-inch one.
Nope.
Like a really small one. They're using a 19, so that's probably not too bad.
Hey, this guy who wrote this article says he remembers playing the game Joust. So, components that they use for this: 19-inch LCD monitor, X-Arcade joystick, see tons of them on eBay, ADX power supply, D-Link wireless bridge, 2 speakers, negative scanner light assembly. Do I have to talk to you about what that is?
What? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Negative scanner light assembly.
Oh, yeah. That's
melamine shells, right angle brackets, whole saw kit, Raspberry Pi B, $40 from Amazon. 3-watt 2-channel amplifier, $5. HDMI cable, HDMI to DVI adapter to plug it all in.
Yeah, he's just using the light assembly for your backlight up top there.
Ah, okay.
Your backlight on the Perspex.
Hanging on the wall in the background, do you need those handcuffs?
They're optional. Depends what game you're playing. That's actually a magnifying glass, I think, if you look at it closely. I just had a quick look at it. Well, if you go to the other one, he's obviously, go down a bit, he's obviously in his laundry or something.
Yeah, the tap's over the side.
So
you can see the ATX power supply behind it.
They're great. I've still got a couple of ATX power supplies. They're amazingly resilient, those things. I just love the warning he's got in this article. Now for my standard disclaimer. Warning, electricity, sharp objects, do this at your own risk. If you drill into your leg, table, hand, arm, etc., or shock or electrocute yourself, burn down your house, shop, dog, garage, or make something that forces a wife to blow a gasket, cannot be liable as their inherent risk in life. Oh, it's great.
Here's all the different steps as you Don't do ads for your own site.
Yeah, I mean it's getting the emulation side of it working is actually the longest part of it.
Yep.
Making something like that actually is relatively straightforward.
Bit of fun too.
Oh yeah, great fun. Great fun.
I want to do.
But yeah, it's you know, if you got a weekend, you could pretty easily put together on the weekend. What was that I was using? Come back up. Oh, is that the
Network bridge? D-Link.
Oh, okay, yep. Wow, I haven't seen those for ages. I actually used to have one of those.
Ye oldie.
Yeah. Do anyone even make those things anymore?
Nah.
Not even D-Link. Like, nobody'd ever use them now, surely. Back in the day when wireless was just coming in, a lot of the older laptops in particular, desktops, you could put cards in, but a lot of the laptops you either had to go for a PCMCIA card for Wi-Fi, or you could use one of those bridges, which basically grabbed the Wi-Fi signal and turned it into an Ethernet or a USB signal, depending on what you wanted to do. That's how they made print servers for the longest time. Wireless print servers off those.
You know what PCMCIA stands for?
Yeah, I used to do PCM.
People can't memorize computer industry acronyms. That's the only thing I remember. I read that once, like 20 years ago. I was like, yep, that's the only thing I'm going to remember from now on. Is that.
Personal computer media interface something.
Yeah.
Personal computer media interface card adapter or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I remember those. Used to have like connected up to your phone and modems and stuff. PCMCIA modem.
Personal computer memory card. Wow, okay, it's not even close to what I thought it was. What? Personal Computer Memory Card International Association.
There you go.
Wow, okay. That's not even what I vaguely remember it being as. Huh.
Close enough.
No, apparently not. What was really bizarre was about in 2000, 2001, thereabouts, they bought out a PCMCIA card adapter. So you could plug your PCMCIA card into the adapter, then plug it into your PCI slot.
My brain hurts.
I know, right? And the worst part about it was nobody wrote drivers for this thing. The only drivers I could find, believe it or not, were Linux drivers. That
is usually the opposite way around.
Yeah, I know. But for some reason, the Linux boys loved this because they had the ability to have multiple either network cards or multiple like Wi-Fi cards or multiple modems because it didn't use an IRQ. Yeah. Wow.
Do you? IRQ too.
It didn't use an IRQ slot because it didn't, like the old Rockwell modems and stuff in the PCMCIA, it didn't recognize it.
Yep.
So you free up a slot. Man. Oh, too many acronyms, seriously.
TLAs are a pain.
Oh, aren't they? What? The problem is they're not all TLAs either.
Yeah. No, especially not PCMCIA.
Oh, here we go. He says as he finds it without even meaning to. There's that adapter I was telling you about.
Aha.
So yeah, this particular one's a Netgear, but yeah, let you plug your card into it so that you can have
PCMCIA to PCIA card. If you take the initials PCMCIA to PCIAC.
Yeah.
What?
And then if you had like a Dell hot port for your laptop, with the PCI slot, you could have a daughterboard adapter for a PCI card to run your PCI card for your PCMCIA card.
Have you seen those guys who get like the adapters that go from USB to PS2 to something else and back to USB to PS2 to something? They're all just plugged serial and 10 plugs all into each other converting.
It's amazing looking at all these old. There we go. 4 meg SRAM PCMCIA card.
There you go.
That's how you gave yourself your laptop another 4 meg of RAM.
Yep. jam it in the side. First, you have to eject the little plastic fake one that comes inside the container.
These things.
Yeah. Take out the fake plastic one.
Take that out.
Put in your modem.
It was actually amazing what they got that port to do. Like, I actually had that's a FireWire adapter.
Yep.
Which why you would even bother? Like,
so you can plug in your iPod because they were all FireWire when they came out.
Oh, that's right, they were too. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the speed would be
just to sync your MP3s, both of them that could fit on the original iPods.
All three of them. Yeah. Wow. At all the memories this is bringing back. What else have they got here? They got
it's like
network.
The corners of my mind.
There you go. That's how you run a. You can either have a RJ45 or a CAT, the BNC network card.
Nice.
These things were horrid. This connector here always
doesn't stay. Yeah.
Every time, like the second time you used it, it would break. Like,
it's got little clips inside there that expand when you plug it in, and after a few, those would break off.
Oh,
and they wouldn't sit in there. You have to jam it in.
That was so bad. And then there's one here I was looking at
Wi-Fi
before.
card. I remember lots of those.
I've actually still got a box of them somewhere. The old 10 meg ones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the brand that.
You ever thought of opening a computer museum? You seem to have a lot of old stuff.
I would if I should have kept. What brand's that? Zircom. That's right. Zircom.
Yeah.
That's the ones that everybody remembers.
Yes, I remember those ones. We had them at the companies we supported. Always had those red and grey ones from Zircom.
Yeah, that was Zircom. They had modems and LAN were the two main. The early ones had the toggles. Later on, they were built in.
And sometimes you got something that had two PCMCIA card slots.
Well, the laptops quite often had two slots.
Yeah, one above the other.
But there's actually some cards I was trying to find before that actually let you piggyback cards, like this one here. Like, this is a memory card.
Yep.
This is a compact flash, 16-bit. Doesn't say what size. Probably 4 meg, 2 meg or 4 meg. But that one lets you put another one in it, so you could actually piggyback like all these 4 meg memory cards.
Yep.
So you could give your laptop like 64 meg of RAM if you just keep piggybacking all these cards.
Don't go overboard.
Sure, it was like, 100k a second fetch rate or something.
Who needs 64 meg of RAM? What would you put in that?
Yeah, I know, right? Given I think the first laptop I had was my Toshiba, like true laptop,
Toshiba.
Not just portable computer. It was a 386SX from memory. I think it had either a 25 or a 40 meg hard drive.
My first laptop was my MacBook Pro 2010. Never had one before that. Always desktops.
You got into the game a bit later.
And I was like, man, I'm getting sick of my hernia every time I have to lift up my computer and move it somewhere. Let me get a laptop. So I had that for about 4 or 5 years. It's like, time to get a desktop again.
USB 3? What?
Wow. Why would you?
There is no way the port is even remotely quick enough to even think about doing that.
It's compatible. Doesn't mean it'll do the speed.
5 gig a second, apparently.
In test environments only.
Yeah, very testing environments. What on earth? Wow, there's some insane
Serial
stuff.
ATA one.
Actually, what's interesting is most of the Poke machines have like 1 or 2 gig memory cards of this. This is what the Poke machines use. They have like 1 or 2 gig cards in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really weird that they use
the software like
on. That. Yeah, I found it strange because a mate of mine obviously works at one, and one of the Pokies.
One of my friends programs them. He's a Java developer.
Oh, okay.
He works for a company that programs Poke games.
Well, he'd know about them then, and yeah, it was the weirdest thing. Pulling it down and seeing that inside, I'm like, what the hell? And I had to go and buy one of these to make it work, like, because the other way, had to go the other way around actually, from an SD card from a PC card to an SD card, so I could read it. And yeah, you're right, it's full of Java. Up until that point, didn't realize that they only ran on Java.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's secure, right?
Yeah, it's hugely secure. It's good enough for pokies. There you go. Cisco.
Whoa. Aeronet.
I had actually Netgear's the program I had. Man, I just got a complete blank. I thought it a second ago. The
Thingammy.
the DOS.
Emulator?
The DOS multi-client network. It had red floppy disks. So I can't think of it now. I've got a complete blank. But it was the only way you could do multiple system networking in DOS.
Yep.
Back in the day, it was really expensive. Lucky I found a copy.
Is that a video card?
Yeah, capture card.
Capture card.
Yep, TV capture card.
Huh.
I actually had one of those, so you could watch good old analog TV, or you could input a.
And you got a remote to change the channel.
Yep.
So it's got IR in it.
Yep. This is a slightly later one. These Medion. Actually, I think it's a Medion one that I had.
Yep.
Did the radio, TV, did S video in plus composite. They were pretty neat actually. They worked not too bad. For a laptop, I mean, you got to think that the laptop it was running on was a 386 or a 486 and was only capable of processing, 640 by 480 anyway.
Yep.
And good on the old, because you had the two LCD screens. You had the Active Matrix, which was the high-end ones, and then you had the standard LCD with motion blur out the wazoo.
Yeah.
And like if it was more than updating like 4 or 5 frames a second, you couldn't see what it was doing anyway. Trying to play
It's
games.
not good.
Like
We can't handle it, Captain.
No, the early color ones, they had the pretty crisp black and white ones. Then they went to the color, and once they went to the color, the first couple of years, man, that was just TFT. Was it TFT? I can't remember now. I used to know all that stuff once. These things were great. These PCI coolers.
Yep.
A fan that blew air through your port.
All right. I never saw one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They were really, especially in the later laptops, like the last of like the last of sort of the Pentium ones when they started to get really, really hot, like when they stopped becoming laptops and started becoming notebooks because you couldn't put them on your lap because you get third-degree burns.
And then Sue, which happened quite a bit.
It did actually, surprisingly. That's why they changed the name of them. So.
And since we were on the Raspberry Pi before, how to build a Raspberry Pi retro game console for $35. You can look that up on Lifehacker. Since its release, the $35 Raspberry Pi mini computer has been hailed as perfect all-in-one retro game console. Now it's even easier to do than ever. It doesn't take any advanced Linux knowledge. You can make your own retro game console in under 30 minutes. And they've got a
I don't know about that. That's pushing it.
Maybe 40 minutes.
They're assuming, it's kind of really badly worded. It's 30 minutes if you've already got everything ready to go and downloaded.
Yep. So what you'll get, your Raspberry Pi will boot automatically into Emulation Station. This is a program running off a custom SD card called RetroPie that allows you to use a controller to select an emulator in a game without ever touching a keyboard or mouse. Very handy. This is the kind of thing that I was thinking of today that I'd like to set up. After everything's set up, you'll be able to navigate, do everything you need to on the Raspberry Pi from a controller. What systems can you emulate? A lot of them. Amiga, Amstrad CPC, Apple II, Atari 2600, Atari 5200 and 8-bit series, 400, 800, 1200 XL, 600 XL, 800 XL, 130XE, XEGS, Atari 7800, Atari Lynx, Atari ST, STE, TT, Falcon, Commodore 64, Final Burn Alpha, Genesis Mega Drive, Game Gear, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Television, Macintosh, MAME Master System, MSX. One of my friends got one of those for like $20. It was a shop in town, and they used to buy old stuff, mostly furniture and TVs, things like that. And he was in there having a look around one day, and this lady came in and she's like, "Oh, I got this old computer. How much will you give me for it?" And the guy at the counter's like, "Don't really know. We don't do a lot with computers." My friend's there, and he goes, "I'll give you $20. She's like, "Okay, here you go." So he $20. He took it home and he plugged it in and started playing MSX games and installing new operating system and stuff like that. He thought it was fantastic. Nintendo 64, NES, Neo Geo, PC Engine, TurboGrafx 16, ports, PlayStation 1, Scum VM. I'd love to play some Scum VM on my Retro Pi, that'd be so cool. Sega 32X, Sega CD, Super NES, Vectrix. Mr. T likes to try Vectrix, right?
Vectrix.
Yeah.
I know of it, I've never used it though.
Z Machine, Frots, that'd be fun. I haven't played those games in ages. And ZX Spectrum. What you need, Raspberry Pi model A plus or B plus work fine, but they recommend Raspberry Pi 2 for full compatibility. At least 4 gig micro SD card, they're everywhere. USB controllers, I bought one of those.
Yeah, try and find a 4 gig. When was the last time you saw a 4 gig?
eBay.
I think even now, like Officeworks, the smallest they sells 8 or 16 now.
Yeah. USB keyboard and mouse just for the initial setup, a router, TV monitor, AV HDMI cables, a bouncy camera looking at Mr.
I just kicked the cable.
A Windows, Mac or Linux computer, transfer the ROMs, and a copy of free software, CyberDuck.
CyberDuck. Quack, quack.
I like FileZilla.
It's yeah, not bad. Actually, there's one thing before you do this I recommend you do is learn how to boot up from a hard drive on your Pi.
Yep.
Rather than the SD. Once it's faster, it's more stable and it's less likely to burn out your SD card because you're not writing to it all the time. So
get a USB hard drive.
USB hard drive adapter, and it's you got to change a couple. You need the SD card in there. The initial low-level boot, it boots off the SD card, and then it's once you've got it set up right, it switches over to the hard drive, and it's so much better way of doing it.
Download and install RetroPie on an SD card. And because of the work of Pet Rockblock, the process for installing all these emulators is incredibly easy. Just download the image. Once it's downloaded, whack it on there with the software, and then plug it in, boot it up. And then you've got boot your Raspberry Pi and set up emulation stations, so you can configure your gamepad, tweak the settings on the Raspberry Pi to look good, and configure your controllers, transfer your ROMs from your primary computer, and then that's it. So quite easy and a lot of fun. You want to play your old stuff. I downloaded MAME, put it on my MacBook Pro, plugged it into the 50-inch TV, and was showing my daughter some of the old games that I used to play, and she quite liked some of them. Some of them she thought was a bit stupid, but some of them she was having a lot of fun playing. Like what do we have? Galaga, the original Pac-Mans, all sorts of things. The Pit.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're good fun, they really are. It's something I need to get back into again.
Thousands of games that you can just play really easily.
That's it. I'm actually looking at doing the tabletop rather than a upright.
Yep.
So I've got all the stuff there to do a tabletop, so I figured why not. I don't know, I might change it to an upright yet, I haven't decided. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. What's surprising is the Raspberry Pi easily plays PlayStation games.
Yep.
And given that it's emulating a PlayStation game, and I know back in the day when Pentium, probably 500s struggled to play PlayStation games on emulation. So, or even more, when the AMD 850s and the Pentium 1 gigs come out, they struggle to play PlayStation games. So it shows you how powerful the Pi really is.
Yeah. Even the original one can do it quite well, but now they've got the B Plus and the Raspberry Pi 2.
Yeah, it's got 512 mega RAM.
That's what you need.
A little bit more RAM makes all the difference.
Stop making me want to go out and buy stuff, Mr. T. It's all your fault.
Well, I'll sell you mine then.
Yep.
I'll sell it to you for the same price I can buy a new one for.
Thanks for that.
Okay, $1 less.
I had a Raspberry Pi. I sold it to a friend of mine. He was using it for a Rasplex. He ran on there and could watch all of the movies and stuff streaming from his NAS.
Oh yeah,
it's quite a good option for it as well.
Speaking of adapters and stuff, I just brought to mind the old flip chips.
Yep.
He could run when Intel went through this phase of putting slots on their motherboards rather than chips.
Yep.
So they had the flip chips where you could turn a chipped socket into a slotted socket. And just for some reason, just remember that just popped into my head all of a sudden.
And of course, the Micromite Companion. Check that out; it's quite interesting. Propeller-powered retro-style mini-computer kit is here. They've combined the power of two unique open-source systems: Parallax Propeller, created by Chip Gracie, and Micromite Mark II, created by Jeff Graham, created a platform capable of both retro time travel and modern-day microcontroller fun in the same package. The Micromite Controller Companion, the Micromite Companion is easy to build and use, has a powerful, up-to-date basic interpreter that includes capabilities to run old-school programs, as well as new commands to control sensors, servos, LCD modules, and more. Create games using sprites and tiles to control objects on screen, or move the action into the real world with servo-controlled robots and gizmos. Most recently, Micromite Companion projects have been attached to the internet using the inexpensive ESP8266 modules. Micromite Companion begins as a replica of all the best concepts from the computers of the 70s and 80s, but at closer examination it provides a powerful gateway to microcontroller electronics education, from programming in structured basic using Micromite to programming in C, spin and assembly using the propeller. And you can see the Micromite boot up screen is very reminiscent of the old Commodore 64 and Amstrad type screens.
It looks like it's got a bit better graphic processing though.
Yep.
You look at some of the like the ball and that. Yeah, next one across. It looks like
It's
it does
the
fairly
Amiga
decent
ball.
graphics. Yeah.
That was really famous. Bit of a program there.
Sprites.
Subroutines and stuff. Game.
Sprite test.
You know that
Frogger.
one? Frogger!
Another game I'm no good at.
Eliza! Oh, I remember Eliza. We used to try and get it to swear. Had a Commodore 64 one
Oh,
was
yeah.
called Software Animated Mouth with Sam, and it would
Yep.
actually speak to you through the speakers.
Yeah, I remember that.
We had one of them, somebody had put in, or was it us? I think it might have been us. We put in swear words for it to reply to you. And one of the adults in a computer group had just changed it to random characters. So whenever you got the application crank it, you would say, "Why don't you go and explicit yourself?" And you can guess what we had in there before they changed it to explicit.
Oh, Star Trek. I remember this.
It
Star
looks like
Trek
a DeLorean or something.
1977. Yeah, it's Back to the
Back to
Future.
the Future game demo.
Mm.
Those are in retro text mode. Shoot 'em up.
Arkanoid or something. Pick up sticks?
Yep. You have weather prediction. Ah, lemonade stand.
Lemonade stand,
Remember
yeah.
lemonade stand? Man, makes your screen wobble. Load runner. That was a good fun one.
I never
Load runner.
never could get through that.
No,
No.
those
I
guys
tried.
can be a bit clever with the AI. MC IRC and IRC application. Somebody wrote for it. Oh god.
You'd need
That's
networking,
hilarious.
I suppose, for that.
Yeah. Micromite. Sid player. Play some music. Commodore 64 music player. Sprite editor. I used to spend hours designing sprites
Yeah,
for
they
games
were
that I never
great.
made.
I know, I was the same. They all
I
suck,
started off
every
with
single
graph
one of them.
paper. I used to carry around a booklet of graph paper and design it all on there for the Commodore 64. I was like, yeah, one day I'll make a game. Never did.
Yeah. This
Star
is
Trek
Star
game.
Trek 1977. I love this game. I've actually got a
yeah.
PC version of this.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
You should get it for your Android.
It's basically, it probably is. It's, yeah, even now, it's still a lot of fun to go back and play.
What Android do you have now? Note something?
I've got the Note 2, the 3, and the 4.
Yep. Gonna get the 5?
Probably. I don't
I
know.
was having a look at that in the S6
don't like-
Edge.
Yeah, I
really
don't like
like
the
the
Edge. I
Edge.
can't use it.
It feels horrible to hold on to in your hand.
Well, not only that, but
Uh-huh.
when you're holding it, your fingers touch
Touching
the
the
side
edge.
of the screen, and you can't use the
Which
screen
is a
because your
touch
fingers
thing.
are touching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't.
Bad idea. It was interesting, but no. Companion project.
Retro text.
Switch to a mode called Retro Text. Commodore 64 Atari styled 40 by 50 64 color mode. Plot dots, lines, and redefine characters. What should we do to the smileys? Wait for it. It looks like Commodore 64 character set.
Yeah, that's got to be. I'd know that anyway. Very
cool for a mini computer that you can learn with a lot of retro feel about it.
It's capable of executing 23,000 lines of code per second, up to 256.
Specifications: 32K, 8-core parallax propeller used for video, sound, and I/O. PIC32 installed with MM-BASIC, 50K plus free memory. Full-size SD card slot for program storage. Nunchuck game port. IR port, solderless breadboard experiment area. All Micromite pins available. Open propeller pins available. 4 different video audio modes, including sprites and tiles. Expandable to 254 modes. 80 by 30 companion mode. 40 by 50 Commodore's Atari style retro text. 128 by 96 fat pixel mode. 256 by 192 64 color sprite tile mode. Software currently supports up to 64 colors. Hardware supports 256 color mode coming soon. I think that'd be shipped in the USA $63 USD or worldwide $70 US. And if you want to get some retro feels going, that's the one to go with.
Yeah, you got to be kind of prepared to do a bit of work on that one though. It's not plug and play.
No.
It's a little bit too advanced for me.
Stick to the pie.
I mean, I could probably do it, but it's one of those things, like if it's your hobby or your passion, then you'd love it. But for me, I'd prefer to go just the route of the pie because it just works.
Yep, everything's already there for you.
I don't have to engineer it. It's already been engineered.
Make in a card that's got your OS and everything on it, bam, goes.
Well, that's it. And then you just go and buy, if you want to have, better controls and stuff, you can just go and buy like the proper arcade joysticks and stuff. They're $16 for a fully micro switch toggle, joystick adapter, or if you want to, you can even go and buy the coin mechs and stuff if you want to charge your friends for the privilege of using your arcade machine.
Yep.
You can buy proper coin mechs and stuff. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
What coins does it take though? Oh, this is Australian website.
Well, whatever you set it to, you program it to accept
coins.
whatever coins. Yeah.
How much is that? $59.
$50 roughly. Then you got all your different arcade buttons, and they're pretty cheap. They're $3 for a button, or depending on how big. These are the hub ones. So these are the competition ones. They're heavy duty ones.
Yep.
And they're $4.50. So it's
might as well.
Yeah, that's it. You can buy the where are they in here somewhere? PCB stuff to hook it all up to USB or anything like that. So
yep.
If you're gonna build a proper cabinet, you might as well build the proper cabinet.
Yeah.
And for the sake of they're so cheap now. Like I bought buttons and stuff even 12 months ago, and they're double that price. So in the last 12 months. They've really dropped, but yeah, I mean, even the really high end. So I mean, you can buy the pre-made ones. Like this is the Razer Atrox, which is sort of the industry leader in that sort of thing. Pre-made and pre-configured and all. It's $200, and it comes ready to race basically, but you don't need to do that. So.
And 10 piece of retro technology you should sell on eBay right now. Interesting story I found. Super Nintendo consoles. Average sale price on eBay, $64.
The same price as a PlayStation 3 at Cashies.
Super Nintendo console plus Mario All-Stars plus 2 controller SNES PAL plus seller refurb, $189.90. Ka-ching.
I'm so spewing. The amount of stuff I've just given away over the years.
Nintendo Game Boys, average sale price on eBay, $39 Australian, or Game Boy Color limited edition Pikachu Pokemon edition, $99.95. Record turntables. You would have had some of these.
Yeah, I was actually just looking around for it. I got one here.
Vintage Technics SL23 turntable record player, Excellent condition. $200 starting bid. Humble turntable has experienced something of a renaissance thanks to nostalgia-ridden populations of Sydney and Melbourne, probably. Actual record turntables. I never had a Technic one, but we used the Technic ones at the radio station that I worked at.
In here, if I can get into this thing, let me just move my camera down.
What's in the suitcase? Look at that. It's a portable one.
Yep, portable record player. It's got
Technic?
It's got, actually, what brand is it?
You can put your 78s in there?
Princess, actually.
I had a Princess TV hooked up to my VZ when I was young.
Yeah, it takes all the different sizes. It's got detachable speakers, so you can take your speakers and party elsewhere. Runs off straight off 240. You can plug in there. It actually runs off. I think it's in under that thing there. You can actually put 4 D-cell batteries in it. Run off that as well.
Oh, nice.
And it's got.
Where'd you pick up that?
Got a radio there as well. And I thought the belt for this was going to be cactus.
Yep.
But I powered it up the other day and it works perfectly.
Nice.
So, I've had this since as long as I can remember.
Yep.
I have no idea where I originally got it from, but folds up, nice little briefcase, you know, take it to work, whatever. You look respectable, then work finishes Friday afternoon, you go down to the beach, you party with your mates. So, this is your spacer. So, remember we were saying some of the record station records punch the centers out?
Yep.
For their bigger ones? Well, they even give you a spacer.
Yep.
So that you can still play them.
We had 78s that needed a spacer.
Yeah, so good old AM, FM. Actually, I think it's AM only. Oh, no, it's phono, medium wave, shortwave 1, shortwave 2. So, yeah, it's AM
cool.
only. Separate left and right volume control knobs, so you can put one in your bedroom and one in your lounge room, and you can have them controlled separately. These still work. These are still the old. I might have clipped these back on. These are still the old original paper cone. What are they? 1 watt, 4 ohm paper cone speakers.
Yep.
So, and they still work. Still work. Still sound really good. So I don't know what year. I haven't actually done any research into this thing yet. I don't know what year it is.
I wonder what they would go for on eBay.
I don't know. I'm actually going to do some research on it. I need to pull this out, undo all these screws around here, and actually take the record player out so I can find the serial numbers and stuff in it.
Yep.
But needs a bit of a cleanup. Like to be honest, I completely forgot I even had it for years. It was just sitting downstairs in a box. It was actually holding up. On top of this, I had two book boxes full of records. So it's had
a record stand.
It's had about 200 kilos sitting on it for the last 5 years.
It's still going. I don't make them like that.
That's it. So I'm gonna do a bit of research, see what that's worth. But it's about as it's older than me. I'm sure it's early 70s.
Yep. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Early 70s, way older than you, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's older than me.
You'd be like a grandpa if you were that old.
I know, right?
Polaroid cameras. You really want that hipster appeal because Polaroid camera film is not at all cheap. 10 color photos will set you back $23 from Officeworks, but the camera average sale price $81 on eBay. Polaroid SX70 film, one-step land camera, instant vintage color, black and white, $45.
They don't make them anymore. They stopped making them. I'm surprised you can still buy the film, to be honest.
Yeah. Early model Nintendo Entertainment Systems, released in Australia in 1985. Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, is a collector's item, but there's no guarantee your ancient copy of Super Mario Bros. Will last the distance. Average sale price on eBay, $48. This one starting at 55 and had one bid on it at the time the screenshot was taken. Sega Mega Drive, Sonic the Hedgehog was clearly best game of the 90s, so it's only right Sega Mega Drive makes the list. $40 average sale price.
I'd be curious.
Consoles much.
I had the Mega Drive 2 with the Mega CD,
yep.
The light gun, the punch-it glove, 2 controllers, and about 30 games, and I gave it away for $50.
Dude. Sega Master System, like so many things, the Sega Master System was apparently big in Brazil back in the day, and clearly in Australia still. $40 average sale.
Really, I've never seen one on eBay go that cheap. Cheapest I've seen them on eBay goes for $70 or $80 without a game.
That's because people are putting artificial high prices because they're like, dude, it's old, therefore I have to sell and get a lot of money.
I tell you what, it was probably still one of the most versatile consoles I had because it was so damn small.
Yep.
If you were going away on holidays, you could just chuck it in your backpack and it wasn't a problem.
There you go. Atari's average sale price on eBay, $43. Atari Lynx, 12 games. Walkmans. I never had an official Walkman, but I had a portable cassette player thingy clipped onto my belt.
And like every other Walkman at the same era, they all suffered from oxidization in the heads.
Yep.
Really bad, like...
Boom boxes and portable stereos. I had one of those.
Oh, what do I have?
Looks like my cousin's one, in fact, that they had.
Mine was a Pi, I think.
Yep.
PYE. I think, man, I'm covered in all sorts of friggin' crap. Yeah, Pi, I think mine was.
Cool. Not Raspberry.
No, it's PYE.
20 coolest new gadgets with retro chic. Wild and Wolf trim. Trim stands for tone ring illuminated model. First made in 65, classic dog and bone. Of kind you can imagine your mum using to arrange a trip to disco on a space hopper.
That's actually cool. I can handle that.
I know, right? Xcade tank stick.
How to increase your link through.
Yep.
One story per page.
Link, yeah.
These are those tank sticks. This is what we're looking at when they made that mini arcade cabinet.
Yep. Polaroid Z2300, 10 meg camera dispenses instant 2x3 inch prints like classic Polaroids of yesteryear to be shaken like a Polaroid picture. It's now done by the magic of zinc tech rather than pack film.
Yeah, so it's not fun. You can't do the used to get like toothpicks and stuff and swirl around on the old Polaroids while they're being developed, and you got all these different swirly effects. Did you ever do that?
This? No. How about this for a USB typewriter you can plug your iPad into by the looks of it?
Yeah, it's just Bluetooth, isn't it? You can plug anything in. Oh, that's USB adapter. Yeah, so anything you can plug in. I saw one of these at CES or something a few years ago, and ever since, wow, £49. Okay, the first one I saw was about $400.
Wow. So
I'd pay £50 to get that. That'd be
fun
sweet.
just to do. 2-player Atari action on your iPad, complete with joysticks. It's definitely Atari's greatest hits app, and you've got 100 classics at your fingertips. Missile Command, Centipedes, Yards Revenge, and 79 more.
What? Why don't I know about this?
So,
it's iPad, that's why I don't know about
it. How about this one?
My nephew's got one of
shaver.
these.
Yep.
He won it on a competition thing.
Oh, okay, works well.
No, it's freaking completely useless.
Classic 80s timepieces back with stopwatch, daily alarm, and a calendar. Afterglow feature keeps the screen lit for a few seconds after you release the light button. I had something like that. It was a gold watch that looks almost exactly like that. It may have even been that one that I won at the local fair when it came to town. And they had this big table that just spun around, and it had all these different prizes in boxes on them. And when you press the button, an arm would come across and try and knock it into the hole.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I had a couple of goes, and then Dad came over, and he was standing next to me. He's like, hang on, I'll tell you when. I said, I want that watch. I like a gold watch. Looks really cool. I was probably like 10 or something. And he's like, okay, put in the money. Wait. Press it now. And the arm comes across, and it's just about to push that one into the hole, and then it got jammed, and the prize was stuck there, and the arm's trying to push, and it couldn't get it through, and then it gave way and pushed the watch through. I was like, yes! I got my gold watch. So cool. Best prize ever.
Yeah, no, I had one very, very similar as well. I don't know if it was... I think it had the gold face, but I think it just had a black band on it.
Oh, okay.
The heavy as, man. Yep. Like you look at your arm, you look at the time that you have to rest your arm for 5 minutes.
How about a cassette to iPod converter? You plug your iPod in there, and you can copy your cassettes onto the iPod into an MP3
in real time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder. Okay.
Minimalist turntable, clear audio concept.
I don't know. There's something about the
Not as
whole
cool as
point
the
of.
technique.
There's something about having the whole point of a turntable though. Like, you've got to have the stuff that goes with it. Like, it's not just the turntable; it's the whole record player thing.
Everything. Yep. Denon headsets. Bluetooth aptX for better sounding, wireless connectivity, noise cancellation, amp plus control wheel and mic for hands-free calling. But in the brown and leather metal styling is straight from a set of an early 80s comedy.
I liked it right up to the point where I looked at the price.
£400.
Up until then, it was brilliant.
Donkey Kong shells. I would love these. I think my daughter would love those
Oh,
as
that's
well.
so cool. They're probably bloody $500 though.
TBC. Is that
TBC? Isn't that TBA?
Igor.
TBA is to be advised. What the hell's TBC?
To be continued.
Yeah, exactly. To be.
Oh, there's nothing there.
So,
Camera, shagadelic body. This wouldn't look out of place in the hands of Austin Powers, baby. Yes, a smaller version of Fuji's X Pro 1 Hero Cam has swappable lenses, pop-up flash, and OLED viewfinder that can only be described as groovy. Mr. T's run off. I guess he's got something in the cupboard there that's related to this. Here he goes, magic box. You got magic boxes of everything. Mr. T brings out another magic box of something.
Yep. Just reminded me that I had one of these sitting around. Oh, Konica Minolta. Or actually Konica before it was Konica Minolta.
Ah, nice.
This is a late 60s, early 70s camera.
Does it use real film? It winds.
Yeah, it winds, it clicks, it. You can actually see through the. I wonder if I can.
Yep.
You see the old mechanical shutters there.
Yeah.
And, yeah. No, this is great. It still works perfectly fine. It's every bit as good as.
You're Mr. Retro, you are.
It's what lens is on this at the moment? It's a 50mm lens, I think. I'll have to drag this out again one day and. Oh, that's right. I got a telephoto lens for it as well. Oh, there's no. Well, there's half a film canister. I don't know where the other half I forgot to.
The Instacube is a digital picture frame running on Android that keeps in time with your Instagram photos.
Yay!
So you can put your fake aged hipster memory snippets on there. That'd be good. Just stick one of those at mum and dad's and hook up to their Wi-Fi, and every now and then they get a new cool picture.
If you're going to do that, I'd prefer to do the what's it called? Is it the itty bitty printer?
Yeah.
It hooks up to your Twitter feeds and stuff, and automatically just prints out.
There's some stuff that I don't want them to read that I would be typing.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Maybe
but yeah,
the odd Instagram photo, but
the little printer, you can have it hooked up to all your different social feeds.
Oh, okay.
And
Actually
whenever
that stuff.
it's a physical, it's like actually a little printer, and it just prints out stuff on thermal paper.
God. It's like having your own Tic-a-Tac.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, there's a Polaroid one.
Tape.
The new Polaroid printer they're doing with the instant print sort of thing.
Oh, nice.
So
The Ivory smartphone stand. This old world dock lets you make calls from your smartphone using old world handset. Just prepared for plenty of calls saying it's the 8ers, they want their phone docked back.
nah, I've seen nicer. That's a pretty ordinary
Keypad
design,
hidden time watch. Press any number on this and the keys will light up in sequence to show you the time. So 2, then 4, then 9 would be 2:49. Hit the hash key and the date flashes up. Interesting. Leica M monochrome. 18 meg rangefinder, shoots purely in black and white. Can't get much more old school than that. Short of one of those massive handheld flashes that go boof when fired.
Yeah, but
Photos
hang
made
on,
in
is
detail,
it?
like, in colour.
I need to investigate this. It's an 18 meg, so it's a digital. So they've actually taken a full color CMOS camera and taken the color out of it.
Only, yep.
It's
the oldie.
It's not. It's crap, is what it is. Why? Honestly, I'm just looking it up now. It looks like it's about £1,000 camera.
How about this for an old multi-room audio
Is that the-
streamer? Speakers wall mountable, so you can stream audio, and it looks sort of old-fashioned style.
Sort of. That's wonderful. They don't tell you much detail about it. £2,500.
I know, right?
You can buy a Bang & Olufsen system cheaper than that.
Neo Geo X Gold. You get one with
this
20
is a-
games for about £80. A gold edition that plugs into your TV is also coming.
I've actually been looking at, like, there's a couple of different sort of things like this now. There's a Game Boy variant of this now as well.
Yeah.
Because the original Neo Geo was pretty cool. It was a multi-platform, basic multi-platform thing back in the day. Well, that was what, probably Neo Geo, that'd be 15 years ago now. But
SNK, remember them? They
yeah,
had a lot of games.
they had a lot of stuff. Wonder where they
Philips
went.
Cityscan Uptown. Brown leather.
Ugh.
Cans go more of a 70s direction than Denon's. Music seal tech providing newfangled noise isolation. Accessorized with a splash of brute and ferociously flared Tyrolean strides. And last but not least, Philips original radio iPod dock. That looks cool. Phil's been making radio since 1920s. It's gone back to the 50s for this classic style dock. Chunky dials feels reassuringly retro, while two 10-watt speakers give enough sound to fill your chintz-strewn pastel-coloured house.
The colour's wrong though. They're going for retro stuff, but the colours are wrong.
Doesn't suit enough.
It's not like it's modern, but I don't know. They've almost done it right, but I think if they would have been better off maybe making the phone sit inside it, so you could only see the screen part of it, rather than having the whole thing sitting out in front of it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a few things there that are cool, but there's a few things there that I'm not really. I'm like, okay.
Not that excited about.
It's sort of like, well, here's something that nobody's done for 6 months. Let's try that.
Yep. And to finish off, I have to mention the microbeetechnology.com.au website for Microbee Technology. Core focus is to enable electronics enthusiasts through to seasoned engineers to achieve their product development goals. Product range caters for interest from retro technologies through to leading-edge rapid prototyping and modular solutions. So they've got some development boards there, freescale, kit computers for retro technology, old Microbees, and they're going to have a opening this weekend. The store is opening in Melbourne on Saturday, so I'd like to go check that out and see the new old Microbee Technology store.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I have to be there when they're doing the open.
Oh yeah.
There's some artwork that somebody's done in the side here.
Yeah, I like that. That's really well done.
I've got a newsletter. Oh, I'll have to get subscribed to that. Retail showroom grand opening Saturday 29th of August. Shop 30 The Terrace, Bryce Avenue, Moralbach, Victoria 3138.
That's funny. Something like the Microbee that, admittedly, it wasn't super popular in its day. Like, I mean,
First computer I had, our school had Microbees. There was about 10 of them, I think.
Yeah, I know. I mean, as I said, there was plenty getting around, but they weren't like Amiga and Commodore popular.
No.
And yet, suddenly, out of absolutely nowhere, they've made this resurgence. You know, they've suddenly become a thing that everybody wants to have.
Yeah. One of my friends, I think, has bought one or two of the originals plus the souped up one. He thinks they're really cool as well.
Wonder if they'll do a phone.
Microbee phones. They even had. We eventually had a BNet network where all the computers were networked to a server type situation that had floppy disks in it, so you could save your applications that you've written through to the server. You could load up applications, games, and whatever word processors and stuff from the server out to the BNet. Little BNet modules plugged into everything. First lot of networking I'd ever seen. First computers I ever saw and learned to use.
The first networking I remember was when we had Windows 3.11 for work groups at school.
Yep.
They were running over a BNC network. No, they weren't. They were running over a Stallion network.
Ah.
Which was Weiss terminal driven They're running through BNC adapters to the. I'm pretty sure. I'm just looking it up now. I'm pretty sure it was called a Stallion adapter. I'll have to double check because you remember the Weiss terminals?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was powered. The actual adapter part of it was run from the Weiss terminal, so it controlled where the inputs and outputs of the thing terminated.
Yep.
I'm just trying to look it up. Weiss.
I'll go through this. Premium Plus computer kit from Microbee, limited edition, 128 units total kit. Premium Plus kit is a flagship model, first new Microbee product to be released in 20 plus years after relaunch of the brand. Information on Premium Plus is included as information only page, as the limited edition run has all been sold. We've put together a limited quantity of Premium Plus Microbee. These kits include original circuit boards, all components, comprehensive construction manual. We've also included extras to make the Premium Plus the best Microbee yet. By designing a new core board, we're putting the technology enabling the Premium Plus to be a dual processor computer. All of the normal Microbee functionality has been retained. It still uses Z80 processor, but now we've added a Freescale cold-fire processor into the mix, which opens up a whole new world of software availability running under UC Linux. Specifications: dual microprocessors, Z80 microprocessor at 3.375 MHz, cold-fire V2 at 80 MHz, 2 meg of RAM, 1 meg shared, 1 meg exclusive to cold-fire, 32K PCG RAM, 2K color RAM, 2K attribute RAM, 4K font ROM, original premium series case, full 64 key keyboard with newly sourced key switches and key tops, Microbee standard DB15 parallel port, Microbee standard DB25 serial port, second serial port for up to 115K baud, physical floppy disk interface supporting up to 2 external floppy drives, SD card interface for file storage, floppy disk emulation in Z80 mode, status indicator for LED for SD activity, Ethernet network port 10100, monochrome composite video out, color composite video out option, full new release Microbee shell, CCP init transfer backup software to support 800K RAM disk, built-in software, disk boot prom, self-test, machine language monitor, other software on SD card, UC Linux and Z80 Microbee shell, etc. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's I was right. It was a Stallion. It was a you can connect to the host via a serial connector, RS232 serial port, or a multi-stack adapter such as Stallion or Digiboard. So yeah, that serial port later on became coax.
Yep.
You could do it that way, but it was amazing how resilient these things were. Like the Weiss 50s and 60s, still to this day, people pay ridiculous amounts of money to have because they're just so reliable. I think they stopped making them in like 1990 or something.
Yeah.
But
get them while they last.
To control automation like a CNC machine or manufacturing stuff like that, or like into workshop communications, they're still one of the best terminals ever made. They did later on step out into the Windows thin client sort of side of things.
Yep.
But they weren't as popular, although they were surprisingly powerful. The thin clients like running Windows XP were quite powerful for what they were.
They did the trick.
Yeah, they did. So, but yeah.
Anyway, thanks for listening and watching another episode of the Old Fart Geeks podcast. Make sure you subscribe in iTunes or your other favourite podcast application. You can also watch our show on YouTube at youtube.com/oldfartgeeks. Don't forget to subscribe so you keep up to date with our shows.
That's it. You can also follow us on Twitter. Our accounts are at Warlock, WAULOK, and at Mr. Tomkinson, MRTOMKINSON. Our show's account is at Old Fart Geeks. Music for the show is provided by the Free Music Archive. Wow, I'll learn to speak one day. Don't forget too, you can check out other shows like Obsidian Loft and Aussie Tech Heads are also shows that we're in and on and about. So check those out as well. Thanks for listening. Until next time, see you later.
Catch you then. Bye.
Bye.